Why the 2023 Golden State Warriors scared everyone. As you all know, NBA has finally started with the preseason kicking off between Golden State Warriors and Washington Wizards in Japan. Now the game was a great game to watch, and although the stars didn't get a lot of game time, there are actually 5 things you may not have noticed about Golden State Warriors during that first game, and we're going to be going through all those 5 things in today's video. So starting off with the first thing you may not have noticed about the game was Steph Curry is back in full effect and he looks completely healthy. Now what I mean by this is Steph Curry looks exactly the same that he did last year. Great handles, still fast, still quick, and can definitely get to the hole very well. As you all know, Steph Curry is getting up there in age. Now he isn't super old, but as time goes on, each year really does have an effect on a lot of players when it comes to the athleticism they bring. But looking from this preseason game, you actually saw Steph Curry perform at a very high level. Even though he is 34 years old, I really do think he plays a very fast-paced game still, and I think it's honestly fantastic to see what he has done. Now obviously the starters didn't get a lot of minutes, some of them didn't even play that well or play a lot of minutes for them to make a significant impact, but Steph Curry, seeing him out there honestly was fantastic, and I think what he really did show is that he's still playing at a high level and is still a top 5 player. Now don't get me wrong, there are other players such as LeBron and all that are getting a little bit older in age, so they're not really in those top tier categories anymore. However, when it comes to Steph, I think Steph is still definitely up there, and he's definitely a player all the other teams still need to watch out for, even despite the fact that he's 34 years of age. He is only going to age like fine wine, and I think that's honestly where Steph Curry is really going to shine. Since his game isn't built off athleticism such as Ja Morant or, old school D Rose, his athleticism doesn't really play a huge part. Where I really do see him flourishing over the next couple of years due to the fact that he is getting older is his skill will definitely start to improve. And you saw this with a lot of players as well. Kobe Bryant is a perfect example. His younger years, he was dunking on everybody, but when he started hitting those early 30s, even into the late 30s, he definitely became more of a post-up mid-range shooter. And that's basically how the game goes. And I see Steph Curry still playing at a high level and still moving very well for a 34-year-old. So the second thing you may not have noticed about the Golden State Warriors is they are running a couple of different plays. Now we aren't going to analyze the plays in depth, but I do see a lot more movement when it comes to Steph and Klay coming off screens. They weren't running it all the time with Steph and Klay, but the plays that they were running, I definitely see those being very different to what they ran last year. Now they may have their certain plays with Draymond Green at the top, really passing it out of pin down screens. However, when it comes to this latest season, I do think Steve Kerr is definitely going to change it up, add something new and add something fresh. And he definitely did that. I saw a lot of plays that weren't only relying on a 3-point shot at the end of the day, but there was great movement and also a couple of times where there was cuts, come driving to the basket, some pick and rolls. And I think the variety of those different plays are going to really help them win an NBA championship this upcoming year. All the intention is on Steph and Klay and, even Andrew Wiggins at times for that 3-point shot. And if they're able to capitalize on that and really start looking inside for players that are maybe in there, such as Kevon Looney, even Andrew Wiggins, I think it would honestly be a recipe for success because it'll definitely keep the defense guessing and not knowing their next move. So I think it's a great job on Steve Kerr to add these different plays and to really add more to it. So the third thing you may not have noticed is the new signings are actually playing very well together. Now, as you all know, there have been a couple of new signings this offseason due to the fact that JTA, Gary Payton II, and Otto Porter all left the roster in order to join a different team. But we've had some great signings over the past couple of months, signing players such as JaMychal Green, Mac McClung, Dante DiVincenzo, just to name a few. And we also have the rookies and Patrick Baldwin Jr. and all that. And I think they've done a fantastic job when it comes to really being a part of this team and being able to flow very well off the current players. Yes, you've had Jordan Poole, Steph, Klay, all these players been here for a couple of years, so they understand the system. And I think the new signings have done a very fantastic job. There really isn't any, pinpoint highlight that I can really pinpoint right now. However, when it comes to the way they play together, I think honestly it's very good. It doesn't seem like there's any chemistry issues. It seems like they all love to share the ball around. JaMychal Green, Dante DiVincenzo, Mac McClung, all these great players. And I think, some of them may be getting more minutes and they'll start to adjust their minutes accordingly. Maybe JaMychal may get more, maybe Mac McClung may get less, still in the development stage. Maybe Dante DiVincenzo may go here and there. So I think it's still all very testing everything out. I think that's really important, especially for a team that's got a lot of new signings that are going to be an integral part for this championship run. So I think they've done a fantastic job signing the right players, because the way they looked yesterday, I think, was fantastic, in a sense that they've really done a great job getting players that know how to move the ball well and know how to play well with the current core that's already there in the Golden State Warriors. The fourth thing you may not have noticed is the tenacity they still play with. Now, as you all know, this is obviously just a preseason game. Secondly, it also is in Japan, so they're definitely just trying to show the audience more about the NBA, really expanding the game into more countries. So they're all here pretty much to have fun, but you can definitely see in the Golden State Warriors, they are there to win at all costs. And I absolutely love that for their team. They all support each other. You can tell when someone scores, everyone from the bench gets up, daps them up, claps them up, and I think they've done a fantastic job to really build a strong chemistry within this team. I do think chemistry is definitely one of the most important things out there. I feel like it is so slept on, especially in today's NBA, and I really do believe that's why this Golden State Warriors team have won so many NBA championships and why they've stayed together for so long. Steph, Klay, Draymond have all been there from the start, and the other players definitely have added so much over the years. You know, Jordan Poole, even Gary Payton II, Otto Porter during the time that they were in Golden State Warriors. And I do think this new roster that they have, they all still play together, which is very important, and I think is a very integral part to the winning mindset of this Golden State Warriors roster. You really got to give it up to Steve Kerr to being able to, manage all these personalities. I know a lot of them don't really have any big egos, especially in this Warriors roster. I don't see Steph, Klay, or Draymond having any big egos or stepping on each other's toes as much as, some other players such as Kyrie Irving. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Kyrie Irving is a great player, but obviously there was that stint with LeBron James where he wanted to be the star player and all that, and it just caused a lot of commotion. With this team, I really don't see that happening, and I think it's fantastic from their side. The fifth thing you may not have noticed is Draymond Green is still happy to be in this roster. Now, as you all know, there is a lot of commotion whether it comes to whether Draymond Green is going to be staying with the Golden State Warriors due to the fact that he wants a max contract somewhere else. Now, this is very important. Now, I don't see Draymond Green leaving anytime soon. However, it was rumored that he is going to deny his player option and actually ask for a max contract. Now, whether Golden State Warriors can actually offer that to him, it's still up in the air. There have been a lot of NBA execs and GMs that have actually said that it is rumored that a lot of NBA executives are actually looking in towards Draymond Green due to the fact that they probably won't keep him on next season. So a lot of teams have their eye on Draymond Green. What I love most is that Draymond Green definitely is playing at his highest level and he still supports this team. You see this a lot of times when NBA players, when they're planning on getting traded or they may leave the next season, they don't really care about the roster anymore and they just do whatever it is they have to do. With Draymond, you can definitely see he wants to win a championship this year and you can still see him playing at 110%. And that's what I absolutely love about Draymond. Whether he's only got one more year left on his contract or whether he's got 5 more years, he plays with a lot of heart and he's playing it for this team. So I absolutely love that for him, completely respect, and I hopefully we can keep him on for as long as possible. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace.